Hello everyone, my name is Amellia Siernanda with student number 155, and today I will present my research proposal titled Thematic Linguistic Analysis of Fans' Emotional Expression on X about the Tortured Poets Department. So, in today's digital age, social media, especially X, formerly known as Twitter, has become a space where fans express emotions and construct identity in real time. The release of Taylor Swift's album, The Tortured Poets Department, generated intense emotional responses from fans, particularly on X. These expressions reflect spontaneous affective engagement. This study aims to investigate how such expressions are formed linguistically and socially. By exploring the language used in these tweets, we gain insight into digital fan culture and the construction of emotional identity. The study is guided by three research questions. First is what recurring linguistic themes emerge in fans' responses to the Tortured Poets Department on X. Second, how do Swifties use linguistic resources, for example like metaphor, repetition, and intensifiers, to express affect and stange? And the last, in what ways does fan discourse reflect identity positioning and social alignment? Each question is explored through careful thematic and linguistic analysis of selected tweets. This study aims to first identify recurring emotional and linguistic patterns in Swifties tweets, and then second is explore the use of affective and evaluative language, and the third is understand how fans construct identity through discourse on X. So next is, this research is limited to first English language tweets from Swifties, and then next a time frame of approximately 1 month after the album's release from April 19 to May 19, 2024, and then third is only tweets with over 100 likes are selected to ensure engagement and social resonance. And other platforms like Instagram or TikTok are not included. This study contributes to digital linguistics and fandom discourse studies. It connects linguistic analysis with affect theory to understand how spontaneous digital expressions form emotional communities and signal group belonging. So, for the next slide is theoretical framework. This research uses two key theories. First is reflexive thematic analysis by Brown and Clark, 2006 and 2019, which helps identify emotional themes across tweets. It emphasizes the researcher's reflexivity in interpreting meaning. And then the second is using appraisal theory by Martin and White 2005, a framework in systemic functional linguistics or SFL, which analyzed how speakers express attitudes, negotiate relationship, and scale meaning. It includes systems like affect or emotion, judgment, and then appreciation, engagement, and graduation. Together, these theories allow for a multi-layered analysis of how Swifties express emotion and construct identity. So, this study uses a qualitative descriptive approach to explore spontaneous emotional and linguistic expressions. It is also classified as a case study because it focuses on one specific group, yes, it is Swifties, and one cultural moment, it is the release of the Tortured Poets Department. A phenomenological perspective is aided to understand the lived emotional experience of fans. This design is supported by Creswell's 2013 explanation of qualitative inquiry. So, for the data and source of the data consists of selected English language tweets posted approximately 1 month after the album's release. The 1 month time frame was chosen because to capture both immediate and sustained emotional reaction. Also, only tweets with more than 100 likes were selected to answer. They reflect a broader public sentiment. These tweets were gathered from X using relevant hashtags like hashtag #TTPD or hashtag the Torture Post Department. And for the next is data collection technique and instruments. The documentation technique was used to collect naturally occurring tweets. The instrument included first a hashtag search guide to find relevant tweets, and then a data table to record tweet details, and then next is a coding sheet for thematic and linguistic categorization, and the last is screenshot to preserve the visual context of each tweet. These instruments help ensure a structured and consistent approach to data collection. Next is data analysis technique. This study uses Miles and Huberman's 1994 qualitative data analysis model, which include three stages. It is data condensation, and then data display, and drawing conclusion. So, what I'm showing here is an example of data condensation, where I break down a tweet into a meaningful segment and assign a code to help analyze the patterns. So we can see here, the tweet says, "I was so delusional and overwhelmed last night that I couldn't process anything." From this, I extracted the segments delusional and overwhelmed, which strongly reflect a negative emotional state. This is then labeled using the code AF1, with AF standing for affect, and the number helping to organize the pattern across the data. And then for the full label is AF1 or affect, it is negative, and this helps group similar expression of emotional overwhelm. By doing this with each selected tweet, I can consistently analyze how Swifties express their emotional reaction through language. So for the next is data display. After condensing and coding the tweets, the next stage is data display. This involves organizing the segmented tweets into tables that make patterns easier to identify. So for example, I create tables where each row shows the tweet, its segment, the assigned code, and then the appraisal category like affect, it is positive or negative, and then the identified theme, and a short explanation. This structured layout allows me to visually compare how Swifties express similar emotion, such as admiration, grief, or belonging. So the third stage is drawing and verifying conclusions. Here I interpret the codes and themes in relation to my three research questions. First is for research question 1, I group the quotes into themes like emotional overwhelm, spiritual admiration, or collective identity. And the next for research question 2, I examine how linguistic tools such as metaphors, repetitions, or intensifiers are used to express stage and feeling. And then the last for research question 3, I explore how tweets reveal identity or alignment, like fans calling themselves Swifties or expressing group solidarity. So for the next slide is expected findings and implications. This study is expected to reveal emotional themes such as admiration, vulnerability, and solidarity in Swifties tweets. Fans use expressive language like metaphors and intensifiers to show deep emotional connection to the album. The findings will help us understand how language on social media builds community, expresses identity, and creates shared emotional experiences. So for the conclusion, this study investigated how Swifties use language on X to express emotion, stage, and identity in response to the tortured poets department. By combining reflexive thematic analysis and appraisal theory, this research provided insight into effective discourse and online fan culture. So this is the references that I use for my research proposal. It consists my theories and then the article and also the journal. So, thank you everyone. I hope this presentation gave better understanding how reflexive thematic analysis and appraisal theory are used to explore emotional discourse in fandom. Thank you.